Well, some might say you don't have to worry about flooding if you're on a boat. However, there are residents and there are businesses still on the Toronto Islands who are worried about all that is happening over there right now. And so that is why the International Joint Commission has visited Toronto. They are the body that is responsible for the Great Lakes. We have people from both the Canadian side and the U.S. side that did make a point of coming here to look around today to see what exactly is happening. That after making several stops at other locations on both sides of the border. Now here's a look at the town of Greece, New York, for example. It borders Rochester on the other side of Lake Ontario, and as you can see, just a couple of weeks ago, water levels were much higher than here. Flooding streets, damaging homes. Residents there have been calling for more action from government officials while battling those extreme conditions. And as IJC commissioners continue to get a first-hand look, they're facing a lot of scrutiny right now as well.
It's reached this level because over the last 2 and more years we've been having lots of rain. What really controls the level of Lake Ontario is the supply of water, what's coming from the sky and what's coming down from Lake Erie, and further what's coming down from Lakes Huron and Michigan and Lake Superior. All those lakes are at record high levels.
When you're talking about such extreme precipitation events as what we've gone through this year as well as in 2017, there is no plan that can prevent this from happening.
Now, although water levels are expected to peak in the coming days before finally starting to get back to normal levels, the damage has already been done on the Toronto Islands. Most beaches remain closed now until July 1st. Roads are shut down until August 1st, and Olympic Island will not be open to visitors until September at the earliest, according to city officials. Now, those historic water levels also are putting a damper on major events as organizers of the annual Dragon Boat Race Festival have to decide on whether or not to proceed with the event that is supposed to kick off at Center Island on the 15th. What happens if, in fact, your event is impacted?
Yeah, I'm not sure at this stage. We obviously went through it in 2017. Did not enjoy the experience. We ended up merging this event with an event in September so that we could still highlight the Asian culture with the Toronto Chinese Business Association. That might be one option, or else we look to relocate it. But obviously, with a week to go, things are getting more challenging.
Yes, there are some events that have been affected. There are portions of the island that are closed, other portions that are still open. And so I hope that as we take the steps necessary to mitigate, but also as Mother Nature does what seems to happen pretty well every year, that we can get the island, the entire island, back into the kind of shape people expect it to be in and that we want it to be in as soon as possible.
So as you can tell, as you hear from the mayor, and as we've heard for weeks now, the city is desperately trying to make sure that they keep the Toronto Islands open to the public despite the number of closures that do exist right now. In fact, we were told today that the ferry that is not going to Hanlon's Point is not going over there because there are parts that are actually under 45 centimeters of water. However, Center Island is a different story today. As you might have seen in the background of one of those clips, the island school is actually still open, and there were students coming back late this afternoon off the ferries to get home from school. And we were also told that at one point, while the sun was shining over the last couple of weeks, they actually had to continue to water the flowers.